Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
I love a beautiful lawn. I hate doing lawn care. That's why I use True Green. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. We all know those are some nice greens. So just imagine what they could do to your lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 30th, get one application free. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price. Guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Look at the fine print because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Jacksonville Koozies. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatores.com.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options, and that's a good thing. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. Check this out. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in his field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. All you have to do is get a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522, and Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach, 904-274-5522.
Life always has its challenges, but if you feel hopeless or suicidal, you don't have to face it alone. I'm Dr. Christine Caulfield, CEO of LSF Health Systems, and our free Link to Life program can help. We'll connect you with a care coordinator who will work with you to build better tomorrows. Please take suicide off the table. For more information, visit lsfhealthsystems.org or call 988 if you are in crisis.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Could you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
Snyderman can help tell you whether it's time to repair or replace your system if you answer 8 quick questions on our website. Visit SnyderAC.com and get your answer in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Sixers shoot around today ahead of a must-win in Game 5 of the first-round NBA playoff series against the Knicks tonight. Embiid, who was already questionable with left knee injury management, had a migraine. He's still questionable. Oubre, dealing with an illness, is probable. Covered 6:30 Eastern ESPN Radio. Boston center Kristaps Porzingis undergoing imaging today on his injured calf. Celtics can close out the series with a win in Game 5 tomorrow against Miami, but they can't win a title without Porzingis, believes First Take host Stephen A. Smith.
You need him in the lineup. 7'3", can shoot, clearly can block shots. Helps Al Horford. Porzingis better be healthy enough for the next round or the round thereafter, because if not, it's a wrap.
Clippers forward Kawhi Leonard out of Game 5 against the Mavericks tomorrow because of a knee issue. That series is tied 2-2. First round Stanley Cup playoffs. Maple Leafs center Austin Matthews remains questionable. Game 5 tonight against the Bruins due to a lingering illness. Coverage 7 Eastern on ESPN. Toronto down 3-1.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. My name is Aaron Schachter with you guys up until 5 p.m. The return of Brian Middleton. What's happening, my guy?
How you doing, man?
I didn't realize you might be busy back there. I'll let you cook. Just know that the Middletonians missed you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of them wrote into the show.
Oh, all right.
Where's Brian, they say.
Did they?
Said he's traveling. He's a traveling man. He's a jet setter, a man about town. Unfortunately, on a show with a host who doesn't know to silence his ringtone when he sits down for a show.
Hey, people just know that you are important when they hear that phone ring on a hot mic.
What my friends should know is I'm busy from 3 to 5 and will not be answering those text messages. Apologies to the audience who I know weren't bothered by this. I'm probably the only one who was bothered by it. But Brian, I would love to just acknowledge my hotkeys for a second because we start off today. There's lots of news happening. There's lots of stuff going on. But, you know, there is one thing that happened today that absolutely caught my eye, something that I found saddening, to say the least, something Jaguars related, and that's what we lead off with today, some very sad news. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite Jaguars of the last few years has been cut by the team. Of course, I'm talking about Joey Sly, the kicker. Just kidding. Zay Jones, shown the door unceremoniously. Jaguars turning their back on one of the core bros in the locker room. Trevor, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, even Travis Etienne, and Zay Jones. He was part of that crew. This man was a stable force and could be counted on for big plays. Big play Zay. Don't just take my word for it. We got highlights.
2nd and 7, Lawrence. On the move, looking, throws, end zone, touchdown! Zay Jones!
Lawrence taps the ball over the middle. It's caught for the touchdown! Zay Jones, and the Jags on the board. Pressure coming, rolls away, steps in, has a man. Jones is open. He's got it inside the 10, diving for the end zone. Touchdown! Lawrence pump throws, caught for the touchdown. Zay Jones. Lawrence protected well, going deep, has a man open again. Zay Jones for the touchdown. Picked the right time to take that deep shot.
Yeah, they did. And now they can't take it anymore. Not with Zay. Not with big play Zay. Jaguars released Zay Jones this morning, less than a week after drafting who a lot of people believe is his replacement, Brian Thomas Jr. They'll save $4.5 million against the cap by releasing Jones. A mere pittance. A mere bag of shells. What are you giving away in Zay Jones that you think you're pulling back with $4.5 million? So what? Shot, you don't got 4.5, just throw it the boys? You got to release Zay Jones? They drafted Brian Thomas Jr., obviously in the draft, 23rd pick. And by the way, veteran receiver, we talked about it yesterday, Jarvis Landry. It's going to be at the rookie camp this weekend, trying to earn a spot on the roster. And I think the prevailing thought right now amongst analysts is that this move clears the way for Landry to join the team. I get it. Landry is a 5-time Pro Bowler. I get it. But Zay Jones, he's that dude. Bring it up a little bit, Brian. Let me hear this. So beautiful. Shout out to Boys to Men. You know, I founded those guys in Philly. It's not true. No, I'm lying to you. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I saw you got excited for a second.
Well, you know, you lived an interesting life, so I don't know what's true and what's not.
Zay Jones, man, 116 catches of 1,100 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2 seasons with the Jags. Of course, 2 years ago, the career year, 82 catches, 823 yards. Then he misses 8 games last year, and then the ones he did play in didn't look right. Didn't look like the Zay we've come to know and love. Then obviously he had off-the-field issues, arrested in November. It was a misdemeanor, though. Missy misdemeanor. You got to sweat it. Zay Jones, 29 years old, second-round draft pick by the Buffalo Bills, who I'm sure are hungry for the return services of Zay Jones. I don't know, maybe there's a way we bring him back on a cheaper deal. I guess maybe if that was the case, they would have done that.
Yeah. He's out of here.
Breaking my heart. He was sitting on that 3-year, $24 million contract, 14 guaranteed. He signed that in 22. You were talking about the deal before we started the show. You thought the Jaguars got a little bit of value out of that.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in that 82 catch year.
I agree. I think Zay Jones got what he was worth, and I think it was a good deal for the Jags and what they got from Zay Jones outside of the injury that he experienced this past season, which might have created even more value if he had stayed healthy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So Zay Jones, very effective in his time here, even when there may be games where it was just like, well, you know, Zay doesn't have a bunch of catches, but him being on the field and the threat that he posed for opposing defenses.
Big play Zay.
Helped Christian Kirk out, helped out Evan Ingram, helped out Calvin Ridley.
But don't sweat it, Brian, because even though they lose this great man in Zay Jones in the locker room and the boys lose a great friend and we lose a big playmaker, at least the Jags get $4.5 million. So congrats. Way to go, Jaguars. It's ruining my day. Just as it got started this morning.
Are you beefing with Trent Baalke over
A little
this, the
bit.
front office? Oh,
a little
okay.
bit.
My bad.
He's one of my guys. That's all right. I realize it's a business. Decisions need to be made. It's fine. I didn't want this one to be made. And I thought he was going to get cut a while ago. I thought this was going to happen, and once we got past the draft, maybe it was going to be okay. And then once you hear about Jarvis Landry, you're like, oof, we're not out of the woods just yet. Not out of the woods just yet. And certainly not. Hopefully we see Zay at least one more time here in Jacksonville. That'd be fun.
Probably beating us.
Probably.
For the Titans.
Knowing Zay.
Probably be right there on the Titans. Tennessee.
Oh, don't say that. It's funny you mentioned Tennessee because a little bit later, we'll be talking about who some of the experts, some of the draft classes they like and don't like. Guess where the Titans landed?
Like?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
A couple of experts out there are like, oh, the Titans did garbage in the draft. Garbage. So we'll focus on those to cheer us up a little bit later.
Oh, great.
I'll get in a much better mood when we're talking about the Titans in that sense. But I do want to look at some of the top steals of the 2024 draft as we close out any of the draft coverage we have left this week. Because a couple of notes here I think are Jaguars adjacent, Jaguars related. And on this list from CBS, by the way, shout out to Cody Benjamin who wrote the piece. He lists the top 7 steals of the 2024 draft. We don't have to go through all of them, but I want to start on his second and third ones. Because he's got Quinion Mitchell to the Eagles at number 22 at the 22nd pick for his second steal of the draft. And Terrion Arnold to the Lions 2 picks later at 24 as the third best steal of the draft. Now, both these guys had been mocked to the Jaguars. Lots of people, including myself, assumed they were going cornerback, position of need. They could use the help. Either of these two would have looked great in the new defense. But there you go, Quinion Mitchell going to the Eagles as if they don't have enough stars, old and young. One of the biggest steals in the draft. Obviously, they needed the help in the secondary. Goodbye to James Bradbury.
The fourth.
The fourth.
Very rich-sounding name.
Anytime you've got like a numeral instead of junior or senior, you definitely sound more wealthy than you probably are.
A lot of ego involved with that as well. 4 times in a row.
Well,
4 generations in a row?
I think it becomes a family heirloom at that point. You're handing something down.
Or narcissism.
Sure, a little bit.
It's a lot of bit. The fourth time. We don't have enough of that in this family, huh?
Well, don't you think it becomes more like an OCD habit?
No, look at you.
Here's the narcissism. You want to
Aaron
hear
Schachter Esquire, everybody. All right, go ahead.
I will say Esquire is another one of those things where you put it on the end of a name, you immediately sound richer than you probably are.
Yeah.
Being an Esquire, chances are you're steeped in law school debt.
Jeez, okay.
But that being said, you're talking about, oh, man, I lost my train of thought. We were going on 3rd and 4th and Junior.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pick it up in a couple of seconds. I
oh,
lost
you really
it.
forgot it. My
I
bad.
really
I thought
did
it was your
lose
point.
it. I went off on a
thought that was
tangent,
your point.
and it was over. Over. I'm so distraught over Zay Jones. The whole thing was over for me. But I was talking about Quinion Mitchell, Harry Roseman just going up and getting players every year.
Yeah.
We had Solid Take Brian on yesterday. Loves Howie Roseman.
Hey.
Loves Howie Roseman. I mean, a lot of people do. The guy's a tremendous GM. But I guess my point is the Jaguars had a shot at this guy at 17. Jaguars trade down to, 23?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were targeting Brian Thomas Jr., according to Balky, who he knew wasn't going to get picked before 23. But look, Terry Arnold wasn't getting picked either. And quite frankly, could have stayed at 17, taking Quinion Mitchell. No one would have blinked. But I guess that's not what they wanted to do. So Terry Arnold ends up going to the Lions. And this is an interesting new trend, Brian, I'm seeing all over the NFL now. It was for a couple of years, in the last couple of years, you'd see a quarterback taken and then his favorite receiver taken by the same team. They did that over in Cincinnati. They've done it in a few different places. But now it's not just quarterbacks. Now it's a couple of other positions that require good communication between each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give a few examples here. For instance, Terry Arnold, who's now with the Lions, was on Alabama's team with, wait for it, Brian Branch, who, by the way, a lot of people wanted the Jaguars to draft last year. Yes. He didn't. Goes to the Lions, becomes a starter in the secondary, and now he's going to start across from Terry and Arnold. And you go, okay, well, rookie learning curve, well, maybe it's not as steep when you're playing with the guy you're used to, when you're playing with the guy you already have nonverbal communication skills with. Maybe that learning curve is a lot quicker. I'll tell you somewhere else it happened to a couple of players we're very familiar with on this radio station.
Oh, really?
Yes. Shout out to the Seminoles, who had Jared Verse drafted and then Braden Fisk drafted, both taken by the Rams. Interesting decision by the Rams here because pass rusher, edge, it's another one of these positions. You can see for Trayvon Walker, there's a couple more of these positions where rookies usually don't necessarily perform to the peak of their ability. But a year, 2, 3 years in, they kind of get the hang of it. Not just the mechanics of the position, but the communication on the defensive line as well.
Yeah.
Because that becomes important, especially as these offensive lines do all their masking and tricking and stunting. And so now you got two guys who played together at FSU, are very comfortable with each other in space, where they're supposed to be, how they communicate. And as they learn this new playbook, I think it makes it easier. And then on top of that, we've got this added extra, this bonus. I love this. You were out on Monday, but one of the things I was talking about was in the world of tear jerkers, it used to be like military homecomings were a 100% easy go-to. If you're in the mood to feel emotional, you watch a military homecoming and you're grabbing the Kleenex. And then I said second place is when the dog is reunited with the family.
Okay.
Anytime a dog's been missing for a long time and then gets reunited with their family, or sometimes it's a military homecoming with a dog and a person. I mean, the dog whimpering and going crazy in the parking lot, it's adorable. Real tearjerker. But what I said to Justin, who, by the way, terrible producer, so happy to have you back. I mean, really, we all disliked what Justin did. We were all waiting on you, man.
Wow.
Thank you for coming back.
Just gassing me up, huh?
Just saying. Thank you.
I tuned into the show yesterday. You seemed pretty happy during it.
I got to fake it for Justin. I don't want him to feel bad.
Whoa.
But thank you for your service.
A wild statement to stand on. Faking it for justice.
Faking it for Justin or for justice?
Said it twice. Okay. But please continue.
So the thing I'm starting to love now, the real tearjerkers have become these football players who get drafted getting the phone call that they've been drafted. And some of these are really enjoyable. Really enjoyable. Some of them are awkward and and not so tearjerkery more funny. All of them include yes, sirs. Remember, we did the yes, sir count last week with Brian Thomas Jr. I won't make you do the yes, sir count here, but it's 4, in case you were wondering. But I do have a clip of Braden Fisk getting the call from the Rams, from Les Snead and Sean McVay, and I thought it was a really good one. Just check this one out. It's kind of fun and funny. Pull up the preview here.
Hey, Braden.
Yes, sir.
This is Les Snead, Los Angeles Rams.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Hey, we just traded in, I forget what pick it is. What is it?
39th.
39th, and we're going to draft you. What do you think?
Yes, sir. That's unbelievable.
Yes, sirs,
I can't think. Oh, I get to wait. I'm playing with Verse again?
Look at him realize. He goes, this is the best day of my life. I got drafted, but wait a second. I'll play with my guy? My dude's going to be out there?
Boy,
no
congrats.
way,
Enjoy it. I'm going to put you on the phone right now with your new head coach, Sean McVay.
Braden.
How's it going, Coach?
Sean McVay, a little bit of a potty mouth here, but I dumped out of it, Brian. You don't got to press no buttons here.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Coach.
Oh, man, we are fired the up, bro. I can't wait to watch you two back in action together, pair you up with Kobe Turner. Hey,
you have no idea what you
now
just
you're
did.
going. Now you're going East Coast to West Coast, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jared.
So, out of nowhere, Fisk is over the moon excited. Out of nowhere, Jared Verse enters the room. Jared Verse hops on the phone with his boys.
Talk to your new teammate, Braden Fisk, man.
Hey, Fisk. Let's go, boy.
Boy, no way. How about that?
You can't really hear what's happening, but he is over the moon elated, screaming, let's go to work.
We got you two together.
I told you, man. Oh my
They
God,
both break out in tears.
I can't wait to play with you again. Man, I can't believe it, man. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Just two near-grown men just melting away to tears at the fact that they're not going to be alone in this scary new world of employment. I mean, when you break it down, it's a little more sensitive than football is accustomed to.
Or needs to be.
You think so? You're not comfortable with this?
No, it's not that I'm not comfortable.
No,
I'm
it
just
sounds like you're really not comfortable with this.
I'm not uncomfortable with it.
Comfortable? What?
No, I'm not uncomfortable with this. But I'm just saying, I mean, I get it. It's a rush of emotions. I don't understand that.
I'm sorry. Breaking news.
You got it.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Brian currently not uncomfortable, but Please go ahead.
Mm-hmm. However, if he wants to, if you want to break down.
Yeah, sure.
Break down, man.
Yep.
You've worked hard to get there, and now you get to play with a teammate that you played with for 2, 3, 4 years. So, hey, man, have at it. I'm just saying football.
Help me understand what you're saying here, because it sounds like you're saying I'm willing to forgive you having emotions.
No.
Because it's the football draft.
No. I'm willing to let you do you because you've worked hard to put yourself in that position. I personally wouldn't have done that, but I also personally am not good enough to get to the NFL.
When was the last time you cried? Had a really good cry?
That's a good question. 1960. I don't know.
You've never cried?
Yeah, I've cried often.
Okay.
Okay, but
I cried after yesterday's show. I couldn't take it with Justin anymore.
But that wasn't the point. Overall, man, this is a really good moment, Aaron. I didn't realize this.
It doesn't sound like you appreciate it as a good moment. It sounds like you hate this.
No, it sounds like a good moment. It sounds like a good moment. You specifically said that this is more emotion than football is accustomed to, and I just said, or is needed.
No,
That's
literally, yes. You don't like, all right. It just sounds like you don't like it.
No, not at all. But you know what? You should think about a career as a journalist.
Journalist?
As a media person.
You know what? I have
Maybe
thought
as a
about
talk
that
show
career.
host.
Ooh,
okay.
Cool.
Because you could try to get somebody in the corner, Aaron, and you're good too. You know what I mean?
I'm not even trying to get you in a corner, Brian.
See, that's the energy right there. That's
I'm trying to figure out what you mean.
Yeah, I'm saying specifically what it is.
Because you said a lot of words there. It feels like a lot of circle talk.
And I say, hey, my master at it, but this is not circle talk. If you want to cry, cry. Huh? If you want to cry with other grown men, cry with other grown men.
Let's do that right now. Let's give it a cry.
I have no reason to cry. I'm happy. I'm here with my boy Aaron
Schachter. You put on that Boys to Men bed again, and then we could just feel like we're in the mood to cry.
If I can find it, I'll make sure to start playing it. And we can see whether or not we can test out your theory.
Don't think I didn't see you almost missed it. Another one on this steals list was Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, I know you're playing bet. I got a music for you too. We don't have to do it right now if you want to go, but we do have a couple of minutes. I don't know if you're into it. We'll come back to it. It's fine.
Didn't realize that was where you're going next.
How about this?
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere. When you come back, we will celebrate Cooper DeJean. Maybe. I don't know if it's a celebration for Brian. He seems to hate all things celebratory.
How much crying is he doing with other grown men?
We're going to find out
right
after this break.
Tease.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and warm today with a few afternoon and evening showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Highs today in the mid to upper 80s, dropping into the mid 60s tonight. And partly sunny and hot tomorrow. Your Wednesday high near 90. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands only at Beard's Diamonds.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 4th, witness the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on May 4th for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience. Visit bestbetjax.com for more details. That's bestbetjax.com.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
Snyderman, can you jump really high? Can you turn invisible?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Then no.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
If your AC is running but not cooling, making loud noises, or your home's too humid, now you can schedule an appointment online at SnyderAC.com.
You're my hero, Snyderman. CAC 1813307.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Jacksonville is the largest city in the contiguous U.S. in square miles. So when you have to cover breaking news over an area bigger than L.A., Phoenix, or Dallas, you need an advantage. Action News Jax with a fleet of news-gathering drones to take you to breaking news live as it happens. And with more investigative reporters on the ground in every local county, you're informed no matter where you live. Action News Jax. Local coverage you can count on.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/
the right seat. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Nora Bell Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. We're here with you guys up until 5 p.m., hanging out, me and Brian Middleton, enjoying ourselves. Some sports and entertainment info, serving it up to you on a platter. Brian, I was asking you before the show if you remembered this, but a couple of, what was it, weeks ago, maybe even months ago. When was this? Back at the end of the year. Rashard Mendenhall used to play football. He tweeted this. Tell me if you remember this. He goes, I'm so sick of average white guys commenting on football. Y'all not even good at football. Can we please replace the Pro Bowl with an all-black versus all-white bowl so these cats can stop trying to teach me who's good at football? I'm better than your GOAT.
Good answer.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry.
No, you're in.
No, my bad. No. I'm not. I am neutral. I'm Switzerland right here. My hand slipped.
Oh, Brian
I do remember
in.
that, though.
Brian is Team Mendenhall.
Hold on, man. What you mean by that? Hold on.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean surprise in a sarcastic
Just
singing
saying,
tone?
I didn't think you were Team Mendenhall when we talked before the show, but now I see the truth comes out.
Listen, man, they're greats. They're goats of every hue.
You sure about that?
I do remember that, though. Yes.
So, J.J. Watt replies to Mendenhall.
Oh, that's a good one.
He goes, we would get cooked at corner. I'm not going to lie. Nobody on our squad is covering Tyreek Hill. And corner does seem to be one of the weak links in the chain. I remember growing up, I think Jason Sehorn's the only one I can name. Now, he was pretty good for a time, but it didn't last forever, and I can't really think of who CB2 would be, if I'm being honest. Well, we may have found it, because there's this.
Don't you want some white cornerbacks? Where they at?
Cooper DeJean is not a safety.
Woo!
He's just a corner who will lock down your number one. DeJean is CB1. Said his wide ass can run. DeJean is CB1. Let me guess. Quicker than fast, sneaky athletic. Let that white boy play corner.
Let him play corner. Cooper DeJean deserves a shot at cornerback.
That's terrible.
So we can round out the roster. You don't like this guy singing?
No, that's great, actually.
Song parody on TikTok. I laughed at that maybe 4 or 5 times in a row. The video helps a little bit, too. What awful singing. He needs a little Aaron Schachter show help.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember, last song parody I did on the air, I used auto-tune. I'm a professional.
I don't. The last, No, I don't remember
I did a few of those for the Brent and Friends show.
That's why.
Yeah.
Because I remember last week you played, a bit that didn't have any singing in it, but you were in there acting, but there was no auto-tune.
What did I do where I was acting?
Remember you were beefing with Brian Sexton in 2007?
That wasn't acting. It was a real documentary crew that went with me to the car dealership.
And then you drug in Michelle Thibodeau, and she started poo-pooing on him as well. And I was like,
Really
that's
did.
what we're doing right here?
Yeah, I didn't think that it was going to make that turn.
But I like this song right here, the Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean is not a safety. Yeah, I was grooving to it. I was singing MJ the whole way to work.
Yeah.
That really is going to get stuck in my head now. What's worse than a good song getting stuck in your head? A bad song getting stuck in your head. It is rough. MJ fan? The singing MJ fan?
Oh, yeah, he has a lot of hits.
How can you not be?
Well, we don't want to peel that back. I know
was
some
talking
people right
about
now.
the artist, the music.
I'm with you. I know some people right now that be like, hey, man, flip it to something else. Like right now, I'm like, what? Are you crazy? Oh, that's probably, well, we don't know. But me personally, I can get an MJ playlist and just let it run.
Me too.
From Jackson 5 to Thriller.
Like, I'm not signing off on any extracurriculars, whatever those may have or may not have been.
Right. Anything outside the studio, I can't sign or co-sign.
But, man,
With
inside that studio,
yeah,
magic. Magic. It was funny. I was watching that We Are the World documentary. I told you about it a little while ago. It was on Netflix.
Yeah.
And who was it? Was it, I think it was Lionel Richie. Was talking about going over Michael Jackson's house to write with him for We Are the World.
Okay.
And Lionel Richie's trying to get this song written. He's like an urgent work person.
Okay.
You've worked with people like this before, maybe, who like just want to get the gig done. And then Michael's like downstairs calling up to Lionel. Lionel, come meet my monkey, Bubbles. He's like, Lionel's on camera going, I don't want to meet Michael Jackson's monkey. I'm trying to write music.
Hey, yo. Huh? We got kids listening, man.
I'm trying to write music. Not play with the monkey.
Lionel, huh?
Lionel. That's what he called him. Lionel
Lionel.
Richie. Well, I think he said Michael referred to him as Lionel.
Oh, okay.
But that's probably an accent for whatever part of the country. I forget where the Jacksons were from.
Indiana.
All right, a little Midwest accent then.
Okay.
Yeah, so now you know when you see Lionel Richie.
Yeah, Lionel.
Lionel, come downstairs, play with this monkey. This chimp, Bubbles was his name.
What did I learn today?
That Michael Jackson had a chimp? You didn't know?
What Aaron Schachter would say if he was Michael Jackson to Lionel Richie. You can book it. That's coming in the C block of the 4 o'clock.
I'm going to regret that one, aren't I?
Holy smokes. Where are we at?
Well, we were going to talk a little basketball, but I feel like we need a little more time to unpack that. So
okay.
Let me just go to my favorite thing that I saw today because it cheered me up a little bit. You know, I was feeling down about the Zay Jones thing. I was reading a piece from ESPN, just recapping some of the draft stuff, odds and ends. And they had a couple of experts they were asking questions to. And they asked them, well, who had your favorite draft class? And who had your least favorite draft class? And don't look now, but the folks at NFL Nation and Jordan Reed and Matt Miller chopping it up on their least favorite draft class. And wouldn't you know it, it's the Tennessee Titans.
Really?
Tennessee Titans, a draft of reaches, says Miller, for the Tennessee Titans in Callahan's first one with Rand Carthon in Tennessee. They reached for J.C. Latham at 7, or at least based on everyone's ranking of him.
Really?
The same goes for Tavondra Sweat, who, by the way, got busted for a DUI, or DWI, earlier in April. He went 38. Cedric Gray, cornerback Jarvis Brownlee Jr., very solid players from day 3, but they didn't address the left tackle in a significant way. Latham is expected to play left tackle, but that's not a position he was exclusively at in college. And so a lot of people think he's going to have to grow into that position. He played right tackle. And so if I'm Will Levis, or if I'm DeAndre Hopkins, or if I'm Calvin Ridley, I'm a little bit annoyed.
I don't know. Well, you know what? Okay. Strictly from the outside looking in, like not as a Jags fan, just looking at an NFL team, what they reached for in the draft, I guess that would be, I guess it's a fair comparison based off that article, you know, with the arguments they're making. But what they've done in free agency so far doesn't seem like reaches. It seems like they've shored things up. So maybe they said, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get guys we believe in the draft because we can do that because of what we've done in free agency so far to kind of hopefully stem the bleeding of losing Derrick Henry and stem the bleeding of, you know, losing that energy of the Titans from years past where, you know, they're winning 10, 11 games and they're always in the AFC South division, you know, run. So that's wild though. J.C. Latham, huh? They said it was a reach.
Reach at 7, yes.
Interesting. So
yes.
They wanted him, they must have said they should have thought he should have traded back. They should have traded back for him?
Yes.
Or
taking Rome Odunze, who was on the board.
Okay. Yeah. I could see that.
How long are you holding on to DeAndre Hopkins for? Another year? 2 max? Rome Odunze's the guy. Treylon Burks probably not working out.
I mean,
I saw a headline from, who was it? Florio's outfit, PFT. It said Callahan loves what he's seeing from Treylon Burks. I'm sitting there going, what, did he see him signing up for a U-Haul? What is there to love?
See him talking to his realtor.
Did you see him talking to a real estate agent? You see him packing a suitcase in the locker room? What did you see that you love?
Oh, boy, clearing out his locker.
Because it ain't what he's doing on the field. first-round draft pick. Not doing much. Calvin Ridley going to have to do some heavy lifting with those Tennessee Titans, especially when Tony Pollard goes down 3 games into the season, as per usual. This isn't just hate for the Tennessee Titans, by the way. I do think as much noise was made about them in the offseason, it's not as much improvement as I think people are making. Yes, Lloyd Cushenberry's an upgrade. Yes, Calvin Ridley's an upgrade. Tony Pollard's not an upgrade, but it's better than not replacing Derrick Henry.
Right. Yeah.
So fine. Like, it's not like you had a choice there. You were letting him go. Still the Titans. You still haven't really fixed that offensive line. The defense is still suspect. Love the L'Jarius Sneed addition. But does it matter if he's the only one balling out in the secondary? Does it matter if you can't get pressure up front?
But then you make the argument on why they definitely, for the first-round pick, with J.C. Latham. If the offensive line hasn't been fixed, then that's something that they need to continue to address.
Well, there are actual left tackles still in the draft. I mean, Latham has pedigree, he has size, he has strength, he has ability.
But that would be a bigger reach.
But he doesn't have experience. No, so you move back, you pick up a Fashanu or one of these guys, Fuaga, and you do it that way.
I don't know.
Taking Latham at 7,
maybe,
when the team has so many holes to begin with.
Maybe.
Well,
listen, the Titans said we're not the Jags, okay? We don't do this trading back and gaining assets when we only win 6 games. We don't even know how we won 6 games last season, and we just lost our number 1 guy, the face of the franchise. Look, we got a plan in place. This is the way we're going to do it. We've gotten some guys in from free agency, and now we're doing stuff in the draft the way that we want to do it.
Yeah. Well, another team who refused to trade back in the draft was Jordan Reed's most hated draft class of the year. And that was the Atlanta Falcons because of the Penix pick, which obviously is getting panned everywhere. People are not happy that the Falcons took Penix at pick 8. The more I think about it, the more I start to think it was a decent pick.
Oh, I love it.
For a few reasons. First, I saw a story with a headline that said, "No, Atlanta didn't draft Michael Penix in anticipation of tampering penalties." You sure about that?
You sure about that?
Okay, so like maybe they don't know the penalties now, but if they end up forfeiting a first rounder next year and they didn't take Penix this year, now you're either spending a season without Cousins if it doesn't work out and he hurts himself and the career's over, or you're spending the season with Cousins and it's not a good season because he's going to be 38 and you don't have the future plan in place. The future plan is what Raheem Morris has been telling everyone the pick was about. So what? You sit the guy. At least you know what you got moving to the future. You've got it settled. Settled. People don't like that he took him at 8 because they could have taken him in the second round or the back of the first, Brian.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. People are now speculating. I don't think that's the case at all. I don't care what these mock drafts were saying, and even with the mock drafts getting closer to the actual draft, Michael Penix was moving up. You think Michael Penix was going to go in the second round, you're a fool. And I'm not trying to knock your intelligence.
It does sound like you're trying to call people stupid.
But you might be. You might be if you think that Michael Penix Jr. was going to go in the second round of this draft, especially with a J.J. McCarthy just out here just being pumped up. Stop it. Stop it. And also this, Aaron, people keep – I think that we're under the film of athletes, the GOATs, or some of the greatest players that we've seen in generations play to their upper 30s and to their 40s. You got Tom Brady, you got Aaron Rodgers. Heck, you look over at LeBron over there. He's going to be 40, I think, next year. Listen, guys, I get it. The rules have changed for quarterbacks. It makes it easier to a certain degree of not being touched. So hopefully you avoid injury and wear and tear that past generations had to deal with. Kirk Cousins is not on the level of some of these greats. It's not a knock on him. And who's to say that his ability is going to come back with coming off of this injury, even though it wasn't an arm injury that he's dealing with?
That's the half of the argument, though. It's not so much the talents because you already bought him. You already spent the 150, whatever it was. You already guaranteed him the 88. Fine. You got him for 2 years, whether you think he could take it to the Super Bowl or not. But to the second point, I think that's what people are a little bit concerned about. You don't even know if he's going to be back this year. I mean, he says he is, and the team believes he is. He cleared all the medicals, or else they wouldn't have bought him. But you're still talking about a 36-year-old coming off an Achilles. And so Steve Weish, who's an NFL reporter, was talking to Raheem Morris a little more about it, And he got a little more insight into it, Brian. It's interesting you say that you think Penix was moving up because that seems to be the prevailing theory.
This is where what happened with Matt Ryan a couple years ago is hanging over this organization, because Raheem Morris said when he interviewed for the Falcons head coaching job 3 years ago, he said they had to have a succession plan for Matt Ryan ready to go. They did not hire Raheem Morris. They hired Arthur Smith with no succession plan. So you went on with patchwork quarterbacks, 7-10, 7-10, 7-10. Arthur Smith gets fired, and so that's the issue. Now, for taking Penix at 8, a couple things drove it. Raheem Morris told me that there were some teams trying to get to Penix right there. So they said, this is the guy we want, we have to get. The other player they like there, Laiatu Latu.
Laiatu Latu is who they had their eye on in addition to Penix. A lot of people felt Latu was one of the best defenders on the board. And so they were trying to make the move up to go get him. More on this from Steve Weish.
They tried to trade up into the teens.
Sorry about that.
They tried to trade up into the teens to get Latu. But
after this was already done.
After this was done, okay, and the Colts took him at 15, so that trade prospect, they couldn't get up that high. But that was a player they wanted to get. That was their top-rated defensive player that they wanted. Also the first defensive player taken in the draft, but they tried to get back up, but the Colts beat them to the punch.
All right, so walk with me on this for a second, because you had the Falcons taking at 8, right? They took Penix, and then the report from Steve Weish from Raheem Morris is that they were trying to trade back up. First of all, Penix raising up on the boards, let me tie a little pieces together here for you. After the draft, Sean Payton was all but bragging across TV networks about how he was setting out smoke screens to GMs about him moving up for a quarterback when they had no intention to do so. You may remember the Broncos took Bo Nix at 12, another pick that people thought was going to be a reach. And Peyton says he was always on Bo Nix. But Peyton made it seem like he was throwing out smoke screens to make Minnesota jump up and take J.J. McCarthy. But here's the thing. Minnesota only moved up one spot.
Denver don't need to be throwing smoke screens for nobody.
I'm just saying, if people thought Penix was moving up so much that the Falcons had to take him at 8, I'm suggesting to you that Peyton wasn't messing with McConnell in Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, trying to get him to draft J.J. McCarthy. Right. I think they were messing with first-year coach Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot to draft Penix at 8. Because look at the teams afterwards. You got Bears at 9, Roma Dunze. They say they were open for business.
Okay.
You got to imagine a lot of teams came calling for Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
But they still picked him. So they didn't seem like they were really open for business, right? Then you go to the 10th spot, which was the Jets, who I know were open for business based on all those reports. They end up taking a Vikings deal that essentially was like a pick swap. I mean, they improved their position in a later round, but there wasn't much happening for them to jump from 11 to 10. So I don't really think anyone was trying to jump up into the 10th spot. I don't really think that the Falcons were trying to jump up into that 10th spot. I think they could have accomplished that because the Vikings offer was small. Then you got the Jets at 11. You already know they were trying to move down because they did it once. And maybe they weren't going to move down again because they wanted Fashanu. But then there's Denver. So who did they think was after Penix? The Raiders?
Who's going to be like, yeah, we were after Penix? Like, that's my point. Yeah, you'll get some leaks.
Well, the Raiders ended up taking Brock Bowers, which is kind of a curious pick. So maybe.
Well, either way, man, certain teams don't need to be so smart and try to outsmart the obvious thing to do. If you have a strategy, if you have a philosophy with your new head coach, and this is the plan that you're going to set forward in order to succeed so that you can just get to the playoffs. Forget 3, 4, or 5 years down the line, even though that's what this pick is supposed to accomplish, so that you can just get to the playoffs and shore up the most important position on your team. You do that. I don't understand. Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos didn't fool anybody or force anybody to pick somebody early.
You don't think so?
They don't do it. Like, no. What did it, Bo Nix? So you tell them, okay. I don't believe that for a moment. And Denver is seemingly one of those teams and organizations right now that outsmart themselves in multiple ways. And I don't know what this will do in order to help benefit them anyway, because they thought that maybe that maybe Atlanta would take Bo Nix? Like, I'm trying to understand what's their end game.
Atlanta thought that someone was coming up for Penix.
No, I understand that.
I don't think Denver thought anyone was taking Bo Nix but Denver. Not in the first round.
Oh, yeah. Okay, in that case, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Or the second round.
I think a few people had him taken in the second round.
Or the third round.
But Sean Payton was adamant. They love what. As a matter of fact, you could take out the name Bo Nix from the Sean Payton reports, and it sounds like Kevin O'Connell talking about J.J. McCarthy. It's the same stuff. Highly accurate. Just the winner. Knows what he's doing.
Oh.
I thought, let's take a break first.
Yeah.
And we'll come back and hit a phone
That's what I thought I was doing. My bad.
It's the Aaron Schachter Show. A little bit rusty, but we're getting through it. Have fun with us, man. 904-362-9901 with you guys up until 5 on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 wants to pay your bills. We have 5 chances every weekday to win $1,000. All you have to do is enter the correct keyword at ESPN690.com to be eligible to win.
This is a nationwide contest. Message and data rates apply.
ESPN 690 Pays Your Bills is presented by Underwood Jewelers. 3 Jacksonville locations in San Marco, Ponte Vedra Beach, and Avondale. Weekdays at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., noon, 2, and 5 p.m. Tune in to win from ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Coogies. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in, beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatores.com.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey folks, this is the time of year I get the itch to start de-junking the house and doing some deep cleaning. At Zero Res, our mission is to become the most trusted provider in our industry. We know that trust is earned through honesty, know-how, and good old-fashioned hard work. We would love the chance to earn your trust. For April, Zero Res is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zero Res. Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call.
If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Breaking a few minutes for the Sports Center, but before we do, I want to just revisit or go over this story. Haven't really dove into it, but the other day we had a report that Tank Dell was wounded in a shooting that happened in Sanford, about an hour and change to our south. Apparently, Tank Dell was hanging out with a bunch of friends at a private event at a club. A fight breaks out outside the club, fist fight. Doesn't necessarily involve Tank Dell. He just happened to be standing there around a bunch of people. And then a bystander, also not in the middle of the fracas, the fist fight, the melee, the hubbub. He takes out a gun and starts popping off shots. Now, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know how you want to consider it, the shooter was not experienced. 16-year-old boy took out the gun. No, you think he's a man.
What?
You think the age is weird? Tell me. Use your words.
Yeah, it's random.
Okay. 16-year-old kid takes out a gun, starts firing off shots. I don't think he was looking at where he was shooting. Everyone who got hit, and there were 10 people who got hit with gunfire. Everyone who got hit was hit below the waist.
That's crazy.
That is pretty crazy. To me, that sounds like someone who's not really looking at their target, not squaring up to the target. He's probably got his back, like he's probably trying to run while shooting.
What club are you at where a 16-year-old is also at?
I don't know that the kid was in the club is the thing.
Okay.
Is Cabana Live in Sanford? I've never been. Nobody suffered life-threatening injuries, which is wild when 10 people get shot at the club. For nobody to have life-threatening injuries, either you're trying to not hit people or you're just not even looking at where you're shooting. But the 16-year-old suspect arrested, taken to a juvenile detention center. I don't know, at 16, when you're firing off shots and hitting 10 people, maybe juvie isn't necessarily where you need to do your time.
Maybe a shooting range.
He needs to do a little bit of time at the shooting range.
He needs to get the old school Nintendo and get duck hunt. That little gray and red gun.
That may help.
Holy smokes.
Then again, I don't know if you really want to train the kid to be a better shot after showing his propensity, his willingness.
Save some ammunition, man.
To shoot at live targets.
Just shoot at your target. That's it. He hit 10 people.
10 people.
All of them made it? Come on, man.
All of them made it.
Man, put the gun down and go study, man. Pick up a book. You hear me?
Tank Dell in 2023 had 709 yards before his season ended on a broken leg. Broken leg is no picnic. And quite frankly, a lot of the players say when they're coming back from something like that, it's confidence in the leg that is the hardest to get over. But I'll tell you what, man, nothing makes sure you got confidence in the leg when you're running from gunfire outside the club in Sanford. I don't know what his 40 was, but I guarantee you his time outside that club was a lot quicker.
That's wild.
Getting off the block.
That's wild.
Immediately. Running faster than that dude on a scooter. I'm passing him by. And you're Tank Dell. You can't be dusted by a civvy. You can't have some dude who you went to high school with beat you as you run away. He makes it down the block before you do. He's looking at you going, you're a wide receiver for the Texans.
You beat the Jags all day week 3 of last season. Got behind the defense.
That's right. And thankfully, he's fine.
Oh, good.
Family is asking we respect his privacy. So we'll start doing that now that we've talked about it. We can respect the privacy. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. Back in a minute. ESPN 690.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Every year in Florida, 200 children and teens die due to firearm-related injuries. Know the basics of firearm safety and talk to your children about the risks. Learn more at go.baptistjacks.com/gunsafety.
Attention men and women. If you would like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Mike from Bay Meadows.
I finally found the most experienced company who could restore my hair. Now I have hair where I had none before.
Results guaranteed. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Find out why you're losing your hair and how to grow your hair back. Call 904-777-IHRS for a limited time free hair and scalp examination.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
Thank you, IHRS.
Thanks, IHRS, for giving me my hair back.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Could you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
Snyderman can help tell you whether it's time to repair or replace your system if you answer 8 quick questions on our website. Visit SnyderAC.com and get your answer in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Dave is getting married.
At least that's the hope. She has to say yes first.
Good thing Dave always plans ahead. At Community First, we get that, and we get you. That's why we reward members with a $150 cash offer and 1.5% cash back on all purchases, wedding or otherwise, that can help you live your best life. Yes!
So just be yourself.
Happily ever after.
With Community First.
Learn more at communityfirstfl.org. Member NCUA.
Investigative journalism. It's the difference between the Action News Jack style of news and everyone else's.
I'm Ben Becker. This scam is targeting residents on the South Side.
We investigate so you're crystal clear how a story impacts you.
I'm Emily Turner. Look at the fine print because you're still getting billed.
Because our reporters don't just tell you what happened. We break down how it affects you and your neighborhood, which is why people are putting their trust in us. Action News Jacks at 5 and 6. It's local coverage you can count on.
Don't let spring allergies make you miserable. Try the quick, drug-free solution trusted by over 4 million people. Navage. Only Navage uses suction to flush out your sinuses using refreshing saline, helping you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. And here's even better news. Navage is now available at your local Sam's Club in a great new value pack. It's everything you need to start breathing better immediately at Sam's guaranteed best price. Navage. Navage. Breathe easy.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
Is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A pair of 76ers missed today's shoot-around ahead of the must-winning Game 5 of their first-round NBA playoff series against the Knicks tonight, 6:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio. Center Joel Embiid with a migraine, shooting guard Kelly Oubre Jr. with an illness. Embiid, who was already questionable with left knee injury management, remains questionable. Oubre is probable. ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis undergoing imaging on his calf injury. Boston can only afford a very short Porzingis absence, explains ESPN NBA insider Brian Windhorst.
If Porzingis is knocked out for 2 weeks here and he can't play in the next round, I don't think it's a huge problem. Okay. But potentially facing the Knicks or the Pacers in the conference finals, that is where they may need him. And of course, if you're thinking about Denver and Minnesota or OKC, you're going to need him for sure.
Celtics up 3-1 host the Heat Game 5 tomorrow. First-round Stanley Cup playoffs. Maple Leaf center Austin Matthews, lingering illness, remains questionable. Game 5 against the Bruins tonight, 7 Eastern on ESPN. Toronto down 3-1.
Feeling great starts with a great shave, and great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. That's Barbasol Shaving Cream, an American classic for over 100 years. Close Shave America. Close Shave Barbasol.
Jacksonville Cougars. It's me, Soccer Sam from Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizzeria is now open in Jacksonville, Florida. Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. $10 daily deals, dine-in beer and wine, and delivery. Salvatores.com.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
Ready? Yeah. Turn up your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Having fun with you guys today. Although we started off with some sad news. One of my favorite Jaguars on the roster gets released. Zay Jones shown the door, as well as kicker Joey Sly after never playing it down for the Jaguars. Those two are out. New players are in. And we'll be talking about one of those new players here in a minute. But one of the stories we didn't get to from over the past weekend, we're finally getting around to, is something I'm calling the Great Wide Receiver Reset. You may remember a couple of years ago, we had an offseason where it seemed like every wide receiver was asking for a trade. I want to say Debo kicked the whole thing off. Maybe Tyreek Hill kicked the whole thing off. Either way, both those guys got paid. A couple of guys got paid, including Christian Kirk, for that matter. They didn't reset the market at $25 million a year, but a lot of people thought it was an overpay for Christian Kirk. At the time, I think a lot of people thought it was an overpay for Zay Jones. But ultimately, all the big wide receivers got paid a few years ago. Then it seemed to settle in last year. You didn't have too many big names in free agency. But here we go. Now you're coming up to some of the bigger extensions that need to get signed, and we've already seen a few this offseason. I mean, even a guy like Stephon Diggs, whose contract wasn't even up, ends up getting the one-year deal in Houston just so he can get paid again next offseason. Be interesting to see how that develops. I guess it's going to be definitely based on what he does in Houston, forgetting what he did in Minnesota and Buffalo. But A.J. Brown was the latest to get the deal. You might remember a few weeks ago was his teammate Devonta Smith. He got $25 million a year. Then A.J. Brown agreed to an extension after just getting a deal a few years ago. I think he was one of those guys in that original great wide receiver reset. But A.J. Brown gets 3 years, $96 million, 84 of that guaranteed from the Eagles. 84 is the most guaranteed money in NFL history for a wide receiver. Amon-Ra St. Brown, who just got a deal last week, 2 weeks ago, he got 77 guaranteed. The $32 million average annual value of A.J. Brown's contract, also the highest for any receiver in the NFL. So A.J. Brown has reset the wide receiver market. Still to come, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Jay Jettis, Justin Jefferson.
Ooh, not even showing up at the start of voluntary offseason workouts this month. I'm looking at the headline right now.
Don't have to.
Don't.
It's voluntary.
Can't do it.
And I got to be honest with you, if you're not going to pay me $35 million a year, I don't feel like volunteering.
I say volunteer that million. $39 million, however much you just said. Volunteer it to me.
39's a bit heavy. But now, this is what kind of frustrates me about the whole thing. First of all, Philadelphia just goes out, it seems like spends $1 billion on every player. They pay Jalen Hurts top of the league money. They pay Saquon Barkley. Granted, running back top of the league money isn't what it used to be, but they pay Saquon Barkley near top of the league money. I think he's 4th highest paid running back in the league. They pay both their wide receivers top of the league money. Now, I haven't looked recently at the contracts on defense, but I'm sure you got a few guys on there who are up there. Does Philadelphia have a different salary cap than everybody else?
Boy, I don't know what kind of funny money monopoly they're playing out there, man, but it seems like it.
Wild stuff.
Like, their front office and GM can't be that much more creative with the rules of the salary cap than the other 31 teams, right?
Howie Roseman is their GM. He gets a lot of credit for doing a great job,
Yes.
whether it's trades or contracts or getting creative. Still, this seems a bit much. But so, this is where we're at. So then you check in on the Vikings. Vikings say they are optimistic in the Justin Jefferson talks. Let me ask you why. They're at an impasse. They actually had some of those conversations last year, and then Justin took a brief pause in negotiations. They finish the season. They start talking again. The draft comes. Justin once again hits the timeout button. He's looking to see what moves they're making. Oh, you let go of Kirk Cousins. I don't want to talk right now. Oh, let me see who you're drafting. Oh, J.J. McCarthy. Sam Darnold is my starting quarterback. I'm not sure if I'm ready to talk extension yet. I like the way he's handling this, if I'm being honest with you. Because here's a guy in his first 4 seasons with the most receiving yards in NFL history, more than Randy Moss, like way more, hundreds of yards more, and he did it in less games. This guy will go down as one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the history of the game. And it all depends, I think, on who he's getting paired with here for the next 3 to 5 years. And if J.J. McCarthy is the real deal, Justin Jefferson will be a happy kid. Jefferson will sign a 5-year deal. McCarthy will be on a 5-year deal. Consistency, everything he wanted, he's going to go get. But if it's Sam Darnold, and don't get me wrong, I like Sam Darnold. I liked him when the Jets drafted him. I liked him on San Francisco last year. I thought he got a raw deal in Carolina. I think he's going to do well in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. But man, if I'm Justin Jefferson, I'm like, you guys aren't doing enough. I'm looking at the Eagles throw $50 million at everybody. I'm looking at Daniel Jones on the Giants get $50 million. You're telling me we got to be economical at the quarterback position. I mean, I hope for the Vikings' sake, J.J. McCarthy's the real deal. Because if not, I don't think Justin Jefferson wants to sign that deal.
No, Aaron, he's what? He's going to be 24 or he's 24 right now. It's one out the two. He is about to start his prime as a wide receiver. He's about to.
It's wild.
So what he's done up to this point is just him being great, really good.
It's the ascent. It's not even the peak.
I don't know if I want to hitch my wagon to J.J. McCarthy or to the lack of seemingly what the front office from Minnesota is doing to make me feel appreciated or put a team around me that's going to accentuate the fact that I'm about to hit my peak and be one of the best year in, year out, if not the absolute best wide receiver. I feel him.
Jefferson turning 25 before the next football season begins. I'm sitting here going, he's got to be looking at Jamar Chase, who's paired with Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Just feeling all kinds of jealousy. All kinds of admiration that his former LSU teammates get to ball out together.
Probably in a group chat with him like, hey,
right?
guys, tamper. Figure something out, guys.
Tamper.
Please.
He's calling plays. He called the tamper play. Why not? So, yeah, a couple of big deals are on the way. I don't know that they're in a rush to do CeeDee Lamb's deal. Dallas is in a weird spot. Dallas is in a weird spot between Dak's deal, CeeDee's deal, and Micah's deal. All of them poised to be at the top of the money mountain. I'm not sold that they want to bring Dak back on a huge contract. I'm not sold on that. And quite frankly, the smoke around Micah Parsons is that they are not happy with his act in the locker room, but I'm not buying it. I think they're trying to chip him down a little bit. I think he wants Bosa money. I think they want nothing to do with that contract. I think they'll pay it, though, ultimately. The CeeDee Lamb's the interesting one. Because without Dak, is CeeDee really CeeDee? Does Dak make CeeDee a top wide receiver, or does CeeDee make Dak a top quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's more that. I'm just being honest with you.
I mean, it's just an opinion call.
Dak is fine, but I don't think Dak is those kind of numbers we've seen from him the past couple of seasons, especially last year, if he doesn't have someone like a CeeDee Lamb that he's throwing to.
And then I look at what went on in Buffalo with Stephon Diggs, and the whole thing was very mysterious and curious. For instance, from the offset, from the jump, it looked like the issue was between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. They had that fight on the sideline. Suddenly there was weird stuff happening on social media. Stephon didn't want to show up to practices anymore. Then he showed up and stormed out. The coach said he was very concerned. And then out of nowhere, all the PR was like, this isn't about Josh Allen. It's not about Josh Allen. Here's why I think it was about Josh Allen. When Keon Coleman was drafted, I said to myself, I don't know that the Buffalo Bills did enough in this draft to get up there and get Josh Allen a tool. If you're talking about a guy who's an MVP candidate who you gave the bag to, you want to be a perennial playoff team, you got to go get him a tool. The Bears sitting at number 9 with Rome Odunze seemed like a good spot to be at for the Bills.
Yeah.
And granted, you got to give up a lot, but you don't have to give up money, which you've already committed to Stephon Diggs when you kicked him off the team in dead cap, because Odunze is going to be on a rookie deal anyway. So I thought it would have made total sense. Instead, they stood pat. They didn't feel like they should move up for Brian Thomas Jr. They didn't feel like they should move up for Ricky Pearsall, who got drafted at the end of the first. A lot of people didn't feel that way. Or any of these guys, Leggett, Worthy. Instead, Buffalo ends up taking Keon Coleman. Shout out to FSU. Because Keon balled out last year. Boy, did he look great. Granted, he had some weaknesses that all the analysts like to point out.
40 time.
The speed wasn't necessarily there.
I feel like, Aaron, you giving him a run for his money.
But he did have a couple of those drills where it was like, well, screw the speed. The kid is like a go-get-it kind of guy.
Yeah.
Got a big body. You don't like me talking about Keon's body.
I didn't say that, man.
Personal foul.
I see it.
The ref said that. I ain't say that, man. You can talk about anybody's body you want to.
I'm just saying, I loved Keon Coleman on FSU last year, but I didn't really know the kid's personality. I just saw the highlight tape. I just saw games. Now I'm getting to meet via videos. Now you're getting to learn about this dude, Keon Coleman, and he might be one of my favorite players in the NFL at this point. I mean, this dude is a legitimate character.
Yeah.
Legitimate character. A joy to watch. A joy to watch speak. Listen to this dude at his opening press conference. This is how he opened up the press conference. He's sitting at the table. He's wearing a bubble jacket. It's a bright yellow bubble jacket. Someone points out the jacket. So he goes off a little bit before the press conference.
Guess where I got this from, though? I'm saying you got to guess. You're going to be wrong, though, but guess.
Time is up.
Nah. Macy's. What you mean?
Macy's.
They be on sale on the rack. All the colors.
Tell him, Keon.
Look, $79, $89. Nice little deal. You can get the trench coat for like $100. Nice little. I'll take it up personally.
Oh.
I might go get some more colors. I need a blue one and another red one.
Yeah, Bill's colors. You like Keon Coleman shopping advice?
Oh man, what? Because I'm Ross dressed for less.
Oh, you're from the same group.
I am. Macy's is a little expensive sometimes for me, to be real with you.
Cut from the same cloth. Well, Keon has some.
He's an NFL player.
Keon has the scoop for you if you think Macy's can be a little too pricey.
Oh.
There's good Thanksgiving sales too. That's what I usually do.
See, I ain't know nothing about Thanksgiving.
She said Thanksgiving sales.
I shop like my mom. I get my coats in the summertime. You
There it
gotta
is.
shop a season or two before, just in case, and they be cheaper.
Pro tip.
Because you go at Thanksgiving, everybody in Thanksgiving.
Everybody's on Black Friday.
Who we starting with? My bad, hold up. Y'all can hear me? This on or this off?
He thought he didn't know the press conference had started. He spent 2 minutes on the press conference telling them where to pick up the jackets and stuff like that.
Got to.
Then he finishes the press conference by going over to the snack table, trying to raid the cookies. He's like, I can have these? Are you sure? They're like, yeah. He's like, who's going to eat these with me? He starts inviting people up to have cookies with him. Likeable dude. They take Keon Coleman to the field. Keon Coleman sees himself on the Bills field for the first time and is over the moon. Over the moon. He can't believe He's on a professional football field where his name is on the scoreboard, and this is real life.
What? Now let's run the other side.
All that jingling is the ice, by the way. He's wearing a big necklace. And he's running across the field now, leaving the PR team in the dust, by the way.
Touchdown!
If you're keeping count at home, that's one imaginary touchdown for Keon Coleman.
Ah! Boy, this crazy.
Crazy. According to Keon Coleman, he scored 3 touchdowns in that imaginary practice.
He didn't get that jewelry from Macy's, though. I tell you that much.
You're going to need an extra wheelbarrow to carry that. You heard how loud that thing was? So they come off the field, they take him down to the training room, and he sees for the first time in his life a cryo chamber.
What you going there with your boxes?
Yeah, usually we'll print like
Really?
gloves on. It's not bad.
So here he's stepping inside the chamber for the first time. There's all this fog and smoke and stuff.
Step in this one.
It's not cold.
This one's a cold chamber.
It's cold.
Hey, boy, that's enough to freeze my pants, boy. We trying to go roll in the snow, too? Boy, I just made a grand. I feel like cut the lights off. I feel like the Undertaker. Let's do it again. we got to reshoot down. We got to put his music on.
This guy's going to be gold every week. Every week he's going to be gold.
Quick question. FSU facilities, what's going on here?
Right? No cryo chamber?
You didn't recognize this?
Where you at, boosters?
He sounds amazed by his name being put up on the board.
What's that NIL?
What's the Jumbotron up at Doak? I don't know. Is it not nice? I'm trying to figure this out, man.
Oh, I'm sure the Buffalo scoreboard is a little bit bigger and nicer than maybe.
Hey, listen, man. Florida State, step your game up.
A little bit. What is it, Fear the Spear? Isn't that the name of their booster group or something like that? Where you at with the cryotherapy?
Don't fear the facilities, though. Holy smokes. This is great, though. You're right. He's going to be gold.
He's going to be gold every week, except possibly for on the field, at least according to Scott Barrett.
Jeez.
Scott Barrett.
Gracious, man. Oh, what is that?
I'm just saying. Scott Barrett, who's a great follow on Twitter, at Scott Barrett DFB, always coming with big analysis and metrics-based takes. And I'm looking at the one he took here, and the reason I bring it to the table isn't because of Keon Coleman, although he's included in here. It's because the Jags drafted a guy that Scott is talking about in Brian Thomas Jr. But listen to this take. It gets a little numbery, but just try and stick with me here. This year's rookie class billed as being one of the deepest in recent memory, but based on analytics, it looks massively overrated. He says the big 3 is the real deal, but he thinks every other wide receiver drafted after the big 3 is wildly overrated. And here's why. He said, in his opinion, analytics much better at predicting future busts than future superstars, meaning it's hard to predict someone who's going to ball out. It's kind of easier to predict somebody who's just not going to make it in the NFL. He says one of the most predictive metrics is career yards per route run. It's a collegiate metric that he's going to use. And one of our very, very best low thresholds is 2.0 career yards per route run. In this year's class, a staggeringly high number of early drafted wide receivers failed to clear that benchmark. Here are wide receivers drafted since 2020 with a career less than YPRR, yards per route run, less than 2. Tell me if you recognize any of these names, Brian. Amari Rodgers, Tyquan Thornton, Devin Duvernay, who we know here in Jacksonville, Jonathan Mingo, who you know out in Carolina, Terrence Marshall, another Carolina guy you might know, Michael Wilson, Chase Claypool, Josh Palmer, Van Jefferson. Those are not names of superstars.
No.
I'll give you some more. Brian Thomas Jr., Ricky Pearsall, Jalen Polk, Keon Coleman, Xavier Legette, A.D. Mitchell.
Hey.
Those were all in this year's draft. None of them cleared the milestone. Since 2015, there have been over 2,000 FBS wide receivers to leave college with a YPRR below 2. Of those, only 2 can be classified as non-busts. Multiple seasons in the NFL.
They are?
DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin. Good names.
Yeah, great names.
But that's 2 out of 2,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a 0.2% hit rate.
I'd be interested in seeing, because I don't know about the article, if they broke into this, what other things did Scary Terry and DK have.
Where did they excel?
Yeah, that, may have separated them from the other 1,998.
It's a good question for Scott. Maybe
good.
I'll reach out to him, stalk him a little bit, see if we can get him on the show.
That's crazy. 2 out of wow. Yeah,
of those 2,000, 82 were drafted by the NFL. 82, right? Round 1, 0. That's 2015 to 2023. But this year, 3 of them in the first round. Round 2, 7 from 2015 to 2023. This year, another 3. Normally, in round 3, you'll see a lot of them. The average is 6. Rounds 4 through 7, you saw 57 of them. Traditionally, this past draft, none in round 3, 6 in rounds 4 through 7. So perhaps, Scott says, the COVID year stunted the typical learning curve for a lot of these players, and the point might be valid, but you can't really quantify it. You can't really find it on a metric sheet. But tougher target competition is going to negatively impact a wide receiver's YPRR, and these guys are absolutely going to face tougher competition in the NFL. Plus, all of these receivers I'm going to list below cleared 2.20 YPRR while competing with each other for targets on the same team. Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, same team, still had over the 2 threshold. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, over the 2.0 threshold. CeeDee Lamb, Marquise Brown, Mark Andrews, over the 2.0 threshold. Drake London, Michael Pittman, played together, over the 2.0 threshold. Ridley and Amari Cooper. Devonta Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jerry Jeudy, and Henry Ruggs, all of them played together, over that 2.0 threshold, all of them drafted by the NFL. A lot of successful names in that group. Not all of them, but a lot. A lot of successful names in that group.
Yeah.
So Scott goes on to say he's sure there's going to be an outlier or 2 in this class. It's not definitive to a 0. Right? You got Ricky Pearsall's at 1.99, just under that 2 threshold. Brian Thomas Jr. declared early, so maybe he would have been able to pump that up with another year at LSU. But as it stands right now, in the past 10 years, it's only DK Metcalf and Terry McLaurin.
So just to interject, though, 10 years ago, yes, the NFL was making the transition, or it made the transition, hey, we want more scoring, we want more high-flying offenses. But 10 years ago, even though the passing game was a thing, and it was a big thing, it's not what we're seeing now. And I think that either trickled down to college, what we see in the NFL now, or it trickled up. I'm not sure how that relationship kind of happened. But what does this article, this would be something that I would love to ask him, where does he think that transition from, hey, we got guys that are, we need 3, 4, or 5 wide receivers, like that's the NFL now, versus even in 2014, it was not this kind of unbelievable just passing league where you need 5, 6, 7, hopefully, guys that can cover, whether you're talking about linebackers and you're talking about safeties and you're talking about guys that can play in the slot and whatnot. I just think that there are a lot of variables here, like you just brought up with Ricky Pearsall having a 1.99, or was a guy with 2 other guys ahead of him where he's great, but he couldn't shine the way that he wanted to shine, even though this is taking an average. It's not necessarily like, trying to hit a certain threshold, like 1,000 yards or something like that. How many moving parts are actually going on, as opposed to taking this particular stat and making it a strict correlation, though it's convincing based off of the numbers that are extracted in that particular article? How many other moving parts are there really that you really need to look at before you can say, I'm sure there'll be an outlier. I'm sure there'll be more than one outlier. Or as we progress more with these offenses, as the NFL and college continue to progress more, does that number change? Does that average continue to go down so that you can determine, more players can be maybe at a 1.5 or 1.75 and still potentially not be considered a bust? Maybe not a superstar, but not a bust.
Well, according to Barrett, it's been consistent at least since 2015.
Yeah, 10 years.
So it's been 10 years where it hasn't the hit rate has not changed. Two guys in 10 years. And to your point, which was a pretty astute one, while the NFL has changed to a passing league with the rule changes, college has been a passing league for a very long time.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
A very long time. And then when we're talking about DK and Terry, Scott actually points out we probably shouldn't even be counting DK Metcalf. Prior to injuring himself in his final year in college, he was averaging 2.83. And he was catching passes from an undrafted free agent quarterback who wouldn't last in the NFL and competing for targets with NFL draftable talent like A.J. Brown, Elijah Moore, and Dawson Knox. He was on pace to finish 2.23 career.
But he didn't.
Because he got hurt.
How many of these other guys got hurt? I just that's the part where when you start taking these particular stats, when you're doing any kind of study like this, all of these variables have to be like fleshed out 100%. So again, this is very interesting, and it looks like it is a correlation, but that would be, I'd have multiple questions about, did you take this into account with all of these other guys? Not the guys that you've clearly pointed out, you talking about Van Jefferson and so on and so forth, that list, but these guys coming into the league in this particular draft, did they have issues with undrafted quarterbacks? Did they have injury issues? Or does it even matter? Is that already built into what the article is trying to prove?
I think it's pretty much built into the point he's trying to make, which is if you can't do it in college, it only gets harder from here. And out of all the metrics, total yards, touchdowns, and separation, and all of it, he says this metric is the one he has found during his career that most closely correlates to a bust rate. And then he actually makes a really great point for fantasy folks like you and me. He goes, in fantasy, I'd be looking to trade rookie wide receivers for veterans if your league mates are holding on to the notion that this is some historically great draft class. So if you're in a dynasty and you end up picking up one of these later picks in the first round and the second round where you had a lot of wide receivers taken, you might be able to get some real value there if you believe in what Scott Barrett is saying, which is you shouldn't expect much from the wide receiver class, which, by the way, in his report includes the Jaguars' Brian Thomas Jr. By the way, do you want wide receiver leaders by career in the NFL? Rounds 1 through 3. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Ladd McConkey, Rome Odunze. Then it goes Roman Wilson, Malachi Corley, shout out to the new New York Jet, Xavier Worthy, Jermaine Burton, Luke McCaffrey, and Jalen McMillan. Do not see our guy anywhere on that list. A little bit worrisome, that's all. Big if true. Time will tell. Hope it's not. I hope this man balls out in Jacksonville. Brian Thomas Jr., you got a lot of work in front of you, buddy. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, back in a minute on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and warm today with a few afternoon and evening showers and possibly a thunderstorm. Highs today in the mid to upper 80s, dropping into the mid 60s tonight. And partly sunny and hot tomorrow. Your Wednesday high near 90. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish. Join me today beginning at 5 p.m. on CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamond. April means it's buy one, get one on wedding bands, only at Beard's Diamonds.
Ladies and gentlemen, experience the thrill of the Kentucky Derby at Best Bet. Saturday, May 4th, witness the most exciting 2 minutes in sports and dive into the action with live wagering. This could be your lucky day. Mark your calendars and join us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine on May 4th for the ultimate Kentucky Derby experience. Visit bestbetjax.com for more details. That's bestbetjax.com.
Meet Mike Lester.
Talent is not going to be the right choice for every single person out there, right? Because everybody is different. We do well when our clients do well. We're literally sitting on the same side of the table with them. We're in this together.
Yeah.
When you do well, I'll do well. Once we have that understanding, then we can come up with a plan that's designed to help you be successful in retirement.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time and I've already made around $200.
You can make that
that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code MATCH to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code MATCH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code MATCH for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Why Arlington Toyota? How about a huge selection of new vehicles in stock, on the ground, in one location? And every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty, unlimited time and miles. 60-day exchange program, you heard right. 60 days to love your new purchase or exchange it for one you do. Plus, Arlington's credit helper to help you get financed. There's even complimentary car wash with every service, and so much more. Shop ArlingtonToyota.com today.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options, and that's a good thing. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. Check this out. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in his field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. All you have to do is get a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics, 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522, and Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach, 904-274-5522.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. Before we get into a little bit of basketball update, we do have some breaking news. Just saw the Jaguars officially have announced they're not picking up Mac Jones's fifth-year option. I don't think anyone thought they were. Would have been a little bit more than they intended to spend on the man. But it's news, and I'm bringing it to you. So there you have it. Let's move over to the association, Brian, because the first round is hot.
Oh, boy.
It's getting hot.
Is it?
Especially down in South Beach. Unfortunately, not for the Heat, though. I will say, fortunately for the Heat, I don't think the Celtics are coming back for months. Unfortunately for the Heat, might also mean that they won't be playing basketball for months.
You got jokes.
After the next game. Miami Heat, for the last 17 games, they're 14-3 in South Beach. They took 2 in a row from Miami to bring the series to 3-1. Big win for the Celtics. Derek White balling out, 38 points, career high. 102-88 is the final. White was 15-26 from the floor, 8-15 from three-point range, just dropping them from the perimeter.
Yeah.
6th straight win in Miami for the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like a home court advantage for the Celtics.
No one said that.
The only positive, Brian, was unfortunately for the Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis goes down with an injury.
Oh, you don't say. In other non-breaking news, Kristaps Porzingis is injured.
You think he's
Where's
reliable?
The breaking news sounder?
You think he's reliable when it comes to getting injuries?
Yeah. Huh? Mr. Consistency. Huh?
Porzingis is really like frail, thin looking.
To be 7 foot 240, whatever he is, 230.
You remember Kevin Durant as a young freshman in the league?
Yeah.
That's what Porzingis looks like. It was a weird injury if you saw the replay. I don't know if it's like PTSD from watching too much football, but I think I was with a lot of people who thought maybe he tore his Achilles or something.
Oh, wow.
Non-contact. He was about to start his first step, and I thought it looked like he might have snapped something, but the team is saying the early indications are that the Achilles is intact. He's getting some imaging done today, but he left the arena in a walking boot, and while that never is good to see on television, it's usually what happens as a precautionary thing. So they gave him the boot, not necessarily because he needed it, but because just in case. Tatum throws in 20 and 10 for the Celtics, 17 points for Jaylen Brown for the Celtics, 11 from Drew Holiday. Bam balled out, but he was about the only one. 25 and 17 for Bam Adebayo.
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's trying, but he can't do it all by himself. And Bam, though a really good player, I was watching a podcast. You ever watch Pat Bev?
Yes.
Podcast?
Yes.
And they were having a discussion not too long ago on whether or not Bam Adebayo was a top 25 player. I would say obviously. But, I get it. Certain people have certain bents towards certain ways. I think that he is a top 25 player. But there's only a handful of players in the league, I think, that can really just raise a team or take a team on his back. And I don't. That's not a knock on Bam. There's just a handful of players, and I don't think he's that guy who's on Miami right now.
Yeah, the Heat have that guy. He's just not able to play.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler out with a knee. Terry Rozier out with a neck injury. 84 points in Game 3.
Yeah.
Struggled again on offense in Game 4, only scoring 88. I mean, it hasn't been close. And the series is probably over when they go back to Boston.
Side note.
Oh.
Miami adjacent. Because of Pat Riley.
Okay.
On the flight back.
For
Finally
you,
started watching.
On your flight back.
Yeah, winning
Not
time.
on the Celtics flight back.
Yeah. On the flight back for me, where they had the bunny sponsored by the Wackos uniforms on the airplane. I was like, wait a minute.
What? What?
I texted you. I was like, yo, they're cutting up with the flight attendant.
But I didn't know it was all that. Do we need to stop the basketball segment and discuss this?
I texted you. I was like, first of all, they're cutting up with the flight attendant.
Yep.
Sit in your seat. Okay, sit in
your
seat unless you're going to the bathroom.
You didn't like that at all. It made you nervous.
Yeah, and I was like, and then, I'm not going to be the one to tell you what to wear, okay? I'm fine with it, but I thought that there was a dress code.
It doesn't sound like you're fine with it.
No, I was fine with it, but overall, I was texting. Listen, I just think as Jacksonville people, if you live in Jacksonville, you're a Jacksonville person, even if you're not from here.
Yeah.
I don't always want to, necessarily just claim it because, I'm from South Carolina, but I live here.
You do.
We got to do better.
You're a Jacks folk.
Huh? Duval County, we got to do better.
At dressing?
And how we looked on that airplane, I was like, and how we were cutting up with the flight attendant. You know how long it took me to get my Biscoff cookie and that ginger ale?
Time out.
We were about near front. We were almost home.
So you don't like either of these two things. You don't like people being friendly to the flight attendant.
No, I like that.
Oh?
They weren't being that way.
You said cutting up. I thought you meant joking around.
No. I don't mean like, yo, ribbing you, joshing you, or whatever happy days term that you can think of.
Yep.
I'm talking about cutting up. Like, man, sit your tail down. You grown. Okay? Unless you're going to the bathroom, unless you're just stretching. all this kiki kaka and hopping, man, go somewhere with that. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that part. But on the plane, I watched Winning Time.
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. The second thing you don't like is how we're dressing.
No, I'm fine with it.
It's too scantily clad for you? It's too much skin?
No, I was just over here like, yo, I didn't know that's what we was doing up here. 30,000 feet in the air.
Well, if you're going from a hot place to a hot place.
Nah, but it's cold.
Yeah, but it's hot in
35,000 feet
between.
there.
It was hot where you were coming from. It's hot where you were going.
Yeah, but it was cold up there. It was cold. I didn't know how they weren't shaking.
So you were concerned for their health.
I was about to give them my hoodie. I was about to give one of the bunnies my hoodie. To be real with you.
With you in it or no?
Now, that would be arrestable. But no.
Would be.
But Winning Time.
Great series on HBO Max.
Oh, they almost made me buy it as soon as we landed. I almost purchased HBO Max for $9.99 plus the ads.
Oh, you don't have HBO Max?
Because it's like $16 for no ads.
All right, well, let your friend over here help you out a little bit.
Then it's like $20-something for super no ads. I don't know what that means. Feels like a racket. But anyway.
I don't even know what that means. I'm a subscriber.
Yeah. Pat Riley in that, amazing. I love his character.
Character's amazing.
Oh, boy.
So many characters in that are amazing. I thought Magic Johnson's character in that show was amazing.
I didn't know. Look, I knew that he enjoyed the ladies. I didn't know that he was such a floozy, though.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he was a floozy. Huh?
Ended up paying that price, too. Killed his career.
Well, I'm just at the point where he had his first kid.
Yeah.
I didn't know he had any other kids than the ones that
EJ?
EJ.
Mm-hmm. There's a few.
I don't know. That's so funny.
Just
anyway.
a couple.
Sorry.
Magic was doing his thing, though. Great series. We can get into that a little bit. Just to wrap it up, obviously, OKC ends up the sweep of the Pelicans. And for me, the big story here wasn't the game because everyone expected it, but it was Charles Barkley basically talking to the studio folks, Shaq and Ernie and Kenny. Shaq wants to know, hey, Charles, the Pelicans lost the game. Should we send them to the beach?
Disappointing on us. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston with that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach.
Listen, Charles Barkley might be my favorite human being in the world. This dude was threatening to run for governor of Alabama a few years back, and it's a huge disappointment it didn't happen. Because if we're going to be electing celebrities to governor or president, I'm signing on the Charles Barkley ticket for sure.
Y'all located, we y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston. Come on, man.
So they're not taking a little.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water.
No fear for Charles Barkley. This man has taken on Texas multiple times. He took on every woman in San Antonio one year, and now he's taken on the entire town, city, county of Galveston, Texas. He had a couple people answer him back. One in particular, Beyonce's mom, who shot at him, but she was like, it's all jokes. You're making us laugh. She better say that or else Charles come for her too.
Whatever.
Beyonce or not. He does not fear the Bayhive. I don't care what you say.
Nah, listen. There's very few things I think Charles Barkley fears.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he fears even the potential of being quote-unquote canceled.
No, definitely
but
not.
That Beehive different, man.
I don't think he's worried.
That Beehive. Swifties? Okay. But the Beehive, they're a little too serious.
I dare you. You tell Charles Barkley the Beehive, or is it Bayhive?
I don't know. I don't want no problems.
The Beehive is coming for him. He's going to laugh. He's going to laugh and take another sip of a soda. You know this man's drinking soda.
I don't know, man. He's looking very svelte.
Round mound to rebound? Soda. He's not a water drinker. No way.
Might not be drinking soda anymore.
Maybe it's like High C or something, or Tang. Something with sugar in it.
Tang.
I don't know. Well, what else do you serve if not soda? I'm just going off my personal experience.
Iced tea.
Soda, High C, or Tang. I wasn't raised on
coffee.
iced tea. So Oklahoma City sweeps. Goodbye to the Pels without Zion. No big deal. And then Denver, L.A., and we got to go to break, so maybe we come back and talk about that game because interesting developments out of the end of that game. Denver wins 108-106. It ends the Lakers' season, but a little bit of consternation in the aftermath. We'll talk about it on the Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Let's face it, work sucks, but you do get a lunch break. That's where the Young and Norvell Show comes in weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690, featuring me, Terry Norvell, and former Gator basketball star and current SEC Network analyst Patrick Young. Let's face it, Hollywood has been fresh out of ideas for 25 years. So don't waste your valuable lunch break on the same old tired TV and movie shows. Tune in to the Young and Norvell Show, where we promise to make you laugh, think, get angry, but most important, you will have fun. It will quickly become your favorite part of the day. The Young and Norvell Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
We're dealing at Best Bet St. Augustine, the only card room and sports bar in St. Augustine, Florida. With nonstop action, poker games of all limits, exciting tournaments and table games, and a sports bar showing all the action, Best Bet St. Augustine has you covered. Don't miss our delicious dining options, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and our always popular freshly made sushi. Best Bet St. Augustine is located at 800 Marketplace Drive off exit 311, where I-95 and State Road 207 meet. Learn more at bestbetjacks.com.
Jacksonville is the largest city in the contiguous U.S. in square miles. So when you have to cover breaking news over an area bigger than L.A., Phoenix, or Dallas, you need an advantage. Action News Jax, with a fleet of news-gathering drones to take you to breaking news live as it happens. And with more investigative reporters on the ground. In every local county, you're informed no matter where you live. Action News Jax. Local coverage you can count on.
Bueller Air Conditioning presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, a corporate management manager from Jacksonville, Florida. Meet Les Blankston.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
That is a remarkably beige suit there, Les. Tell us, why are you on the show?
Well, I just replaced my old air conditioner with a new one from Bueller, and I'm just so comfortable these days. I wondered, am I cool now?
Let's find out, Les. Go ahead and spin the wheel.
That's right, Les. By upgrading your old AC to a more energy-efficient model from Bueller Air Conditioning, you'll save money, save energy, and proudly show your family that you are cool.
Ooh, do you think I should get a mohawk?
Pace yourself, Les.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show, hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades. Regenerative medicine. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. If you're tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options, and that's a good thing. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. Check this out. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkupp. Dr. Scheinkupp is a pioneer in his field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. All you have to do is get a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522, and Mandarin and Ponte Vedra Beach 904-274-5522.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
All right, back on the Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690. Let's jump right into it. Nuggets and Lakers ended up being a close one, probably a little closer than it felt in the game. Nuggets win 108-106 in Denver. That pretty much ends it ends the series 4-1. But interestingly enough, after the game, LeBron immediately asked about his future with the Lakers. And he didn't necessarily have to do this, but he chose to do it anyway. And he kind of left the door open for people to have conversations about him not coming back. Thoughts?
Oh, I thought you had an audio clip. I was waiting with bated breath.
Nope.
I love it. When you're the GOAT, when you're the best to ever touch a basketball court in the NBA, you get to do that.
You do get to do that.
You get to make your decisions on your own time.
You get to call your shots. You get to say you need to do this, this, and this before I consider.
I am the NBA. I am the business. Okay? So when I get around, if I want my son to play with me, I'll make it happen. Well, if I want to play for the Lakers, I'll make it happen. If I don't want to play, I won't.
So these are a couple of the stipulations, I think, that LeBron has been discussing with his boss, who likes to put her hands on his shoulders and chest that we've seen in the past.
Hey, I'm not mad at him, man.
Front row, getting felt up by the boss. No one's reporting that to HR, are they?
I mean, hugged up. You hear me? Head on shoulder.
But one of the reports we saw after last night's game is that Darvin Ham is probably out.
Man, that's crazy.
Probably out. I don't think that happens if LeBron is trying to save this dude's career.
Yeah, if he stepped in, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think LeBron was done with Darvin. That being said, the other part of this, LeBron has said for 2 or 3 years now, he hopes to play with Bronny in the NBA before he retires. And so the report out of Los Angeles is that the Lakers want to offer or have offered or are imminently offering LeBron a 3-year extension that includes an off-the-table or under-the-table agreement that they draft Bronny when he declares, and they get to play together.
3-year extension, and you got to do that because Bronny, I know he came off of that serious cardiac situation prior to last season in college basketball. Looks like he needs a little bit more time.
But this is what I'm saying. He wasn't expected to be an NBA prospect outside of his name.
Yeah.
And so if you're a Bronny, put yourself in his shoes, you get thrown on that team like no one thinks you earned it.
At all.
No one thinks you made your way there. How's that an existence you can enjoy? Like, it's one thing to go, I'm in the NBA, I'm making NBA money. He doesn't need that money. Dad's a billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
So what exactly is Bronny getting out of being forced onto the team?
On the other hand, this is what a lot of parents want to do for their kids. And, just because my dad's LeBron James, so what? Feel the way you're going to feel, because guess what? I got a roster spot, and I'm going to do my darndest to make sure that I don't lose it.
I see what you're saying. It's like if LeBron owned a sandwich store, he would just be like, all right, Bronny, you can work at the sandwich store. I'm going to give it to you when I retire.
Manager, owner.
Yeah, whatever. I'm handing my generational wealth down to you. I'm handing the family business off to you. But it's not his business.
It's not. But he is the business.
He is
right now.
He's
the
driving
business.
Force. He is. He is the business. But if I'm Bronny, I'm not happy about that. Like, I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make it on my own, and if I can't, all right, I'll do something else.
Like, let me get drafted somewhere, and then you work your magic to get to that team.
Sure. Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Totally into that. I might get a little worried that a team's only drafting me to make sure LeBron follows, but
that's fair, too.
That being said, at least it's not, Dad said I have to be on this team, so I'm coming. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, when you put it that way.
It's embarrassing. And what about all the teammates on the Lakers who don't like Bron? Because most of them don't.
Whoa, got some more breaking news?
Over his career, he's been a very unlikable teammate.
What? The guy who passes the ball and makes the right decisions for other guys more times than not?
Bro, you don't got to sell me on LeBron. I love LeBron.
I don't know.
I'm saying his career is littered with teammates not named Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh who did not enjoy playing with him.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure about that.
Schachter.
Pretty sure about that. The report AD doesn't like playing with him.
Well,
Kyrie Irving didn't like playing with him.
And then Kyrie changed his tune once
he
had to be the guy.
grew up a little bit.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
He's like, all right, maybe it's tough. I played with these young guys in Boston who didn't take it seriously. Now I understand why LeBron yelled at me.
Yeah, but AD doesn't like playing in general.
Or in back-to-back games.
He doesn't like being healthy.
Or shaving that unibrow. But, they forced him to. They forced him to. It's the Aaron Schachter Show. We had a fun time today.
Who is that? I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
I'm just saying I was so happy to have you back today, Brian.
Me too. I'm happy to be back.
Thank you for coming back to the show. It was terrible with Justin.
Wow, I'll pass it along.
Yeah. You don't have to say that to him.
No, I'll send it in one of those chats, emails that goes to the whole building.
Cool.
Goes to the whole corporation.
Can't wait.
No, I don't have it yet. Can't wait.
Sierra Schachter Show back again tomorrow from 3 to 5 on ESPN 690.
Hey, boss, did you see the latest article in the Crooks R Us newsletter?
No, but I'm sure it's going to involve Safe Touch and probably give me a rash.
It says more people than ever are concerned about security, and Safe Touch Security, of course, is leading the way with new cutting-edge security systems.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, it goes beyond security, too. Now Safe Touch has systems integrated with the home's thermostats, lights, door locks, oh, and of course the encrypted security cameras.
Yeah, never home alone and never away from home. I remember the slogan.
Ooh, and now Safe Touch is running a special for existing customers to upgrade their system.
Look, Skippy, this changes nothing. The Crooks R Us golden rule is still in effect. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Yeah.
Now go find us a house without Safe Touch.
Got it, boss.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Right now, existing Safe Touch customers can upgrade their system at 50% off. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license EF 2000-1945.
My son and I just built a rabbit hutch for 2 bunnies he got the girls for Easter. That gives them a dog, 3 cats, a snake, a gecko, and 2 bunnies. At Zerez, we love pets. If you're a pet lover and need some help cleaning up after those furry friends, give Zerez a call. For April, Zerez is offering 25% off on all floor cleaning services. That's 25% off the cleaning of your carpets, tile and grout, vinyl and wood floors, and your area rugs. Zerez, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerez. Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Snyderman, can you jump really high? Can you turn invisible?
Can you see me now?
Yes.
Then no.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
If your AC is running but not cooling, making loud noises, or your home's too humid, now you can schedule an appointment online at SnyderAC.com.
You're my hero, Snyderman. CAC 1813307.